Hey everybody, today I bring you a battle against PulseEffects. This is his 50 subscriber special. He challenged me for his special vid, and yeah, that's cool. So let's get to it. I go to my Butterfree as he goes to his Pokeball, and his Pokeball is huge. I mean, yeah. So I go to Miltank, predicting a taunt, and he goes for a taunt, and kind of goes for a T-Bolt. I was thinking this thing has got soundproof, which means Bug Buzz doesn't work. That's why I switched to Miltank. Go for the Siphon Toss. Just think about this, Miltank using Siphon Toss, I mean, kinda, yeah, just grabs him and threw him in the air and just rapes him. But yeah, he goes to Gengar thinking it can rule my Miltank, but Miltank just cannot be ruled by nobody, and yeah, so I switch out, go to Rudolph with Natural Cure, predict now Hypnosis. He does go for the Hypnosis, which is good on my part. So I kind of switch again, go to Shuckle because I predict his substitute. Yeah, I did predict his sub because Gengar in a sub is very powerful, and sometimes it's a guarantee that it will take something down. So I go for the Encore, and he predicts my Encore, which was epic on his part. I go for a Butterfree predicting his Stealth Rock because physical, yeah, walls, defense, physical walls likes to set up first then attack, which is kind of weird. If you ask me. But yeah, I put him to sleep, which is good, and now he goes to this thing, and as you can see, he's got the second ability static and not yeah, so he just goes for the explosion because he fears the power of Butterfree, and he just commits suicide, and with that he kills my Butterfree. So he goes to Ursaring, and I go to my Ultra, pretty much walls Ursaring completely, goes for the close combat, and still does some damage. I mean, it does standard, but nothing to fear. So I'll go for Stealth Rock, knowing that I cannot Toxic that thing because every Ursing does have Toxic Orb. And he goes to Slowbro, and I was like, yeah, encoring him, but he switched, which is good in his part. And he goes for the Surf. I predict he will just attack, knowing that I have the Encore. So I go for the rest, and with Lumberry, I pretty much yeah, wake up, and with that, my Ultra is set once again to do some damage. And yeah, so he switch out and he goes to Pooh Bear, and yeah, I go for the Toxic. I was kind of hoping he won't go for this guy, but I kind of walk him, so I don't really know why he used it. But yeah, I Encore him into a Facade, but that won't do much against me even after the poison. I mean, this Ultra is just amazing. Shuckle is just yeah, you don't mess with Shuckle. And I go for the Toxic. He predicts this extremely well, goes to this thing so he can get one sleep off, and go to Miltank predicting he will go for the Stone Edge. He doesn't wake up, which is good. I should have T-Wave here, but doesn't really matter because he goes for the Snorlax, and this was like, oh crap, you know, I have only one physical attacker on my team, and all other Pokemon are more of a yeah, supporters and stuff like that. So that thing kind of hurt, and I go to Azumarill, and this was a big mistake. I was kind of hoping that he will go for the Curse, and here yeah, so I was kind of hoping he will go for the Curse here, but so I go for a sub because this is a sub puncher, but that kind of hurts me now because he breaks my sub with a Body Slam. This Snorlax is pretty powerful, and I go for the Body Slam myself, and Body Slam does yeah, a standard damage. It does so yeah, but Snorlax can take it pretty well. And I go to my Mesprit. This was just to see his moves. I was trying to see his if he's got a Crunch. He goes for the Curse. I was like, crap. I was kind of hoping he will go for the Crunch, but he doesn't have Crunch, and I was thinking, now I have seen a Curse, Body Slam, and he must have rest. That's the only way. Yeah, if somebody uses Curse Lex, it must have rest. So I go to Shuckle, knowing that he will just Body Slam, but I go for the Toxic. This Toxic was just here so I can force him to switch, and yeah, he knows that I have Encore, but he goes for the Body Slam again, and that kind of yeah, that was very close. Finally, didn't get a crit or a Parahex. I was kind of immune to Parahex in this battle, which is kind of weird, I know, because I always get Parahex when somebody Body Slams me. So he curves up again as I sleep off, and at this point I will wake up. So I was kind of thinking what to do, you know. He goes for the body slam, yeah. So now I'm gonna wake up, but I was kind of thinking, I was totally sure that he will switch because he knows I have the encore, and if he goes for the rest I can just lock him into rest. But he does go into rest, and that really screwed me over completely because this was a very big mistake. I shouldn't predict that switch coming. So I go to Rudolph and go for the second plan to take this thing down with a special defense drop, which is pretty much the only thing I can do right now. I have nothing against this guy. My Masprit is a tank and I have Mill Tank, and yeah, so this thing kind of walls them both, which can bring problems, and yeah, so I kind of hope here for a special defense lowered, and I do get it, which is really awesome. And yeah, so I was kind of lucky. He goes for the fire punch, so he kind of showed me his last move, and I go back to Shuckle, predicting he will go for yet another body slam or fire punch, which I kind of take both of them. And yeah, so this is pretty good. And now here comes the critical part. I go for the toxic and I miss, and this really cost me because toxic, I need to toxic that thing down. And yeah, so I just go for the toxic. If I would have yeah, if I would have hit the toxic, I would have just rest here, but now I can do that. So yeah, he finished me off with a body slam, and here yeah, finally my Shuckle goes down after a tough battle. Yeah, so go to Mill Tank, just kind of going for the Mill Drink just to take this opportunity to heal myself. And yeah, so he does go for the rest, and this is probably the best time I go for the Shaman. And yeah, it's going by the plan, and let's see how it will turn out. So I go for the Seed Flare, and after the special defense drop it does a lot, and I was kind of thinking, whoa, that did more than half. I mean, yeah, there's some massive damage there. And he gets yet another special defense drop, so I was kind of predicting he will switch at this point. It's kind of obvious he will, and I go for a sub, which is great because subs, yeah, like I said, everything in a sub is crazy powerful and really hard to take down. And Shaman is pretty bulky, and even if it isn't defense, yeah, EV training defense, it can still take one eye shot coming from unstep yeah, wall like this guy. So I could kind of take it without breaking the sub, and I finish him off with the Seed Flare. I kind of get lucky with Seed Flare, I never miss with it. So he goes to Gengar, and that Gengar is modest, and I'm time it, and I outspeed, and I was, yeah, this was the critical part. If I would have killed this Gengar, or I would at least get a flinch, his Slowbro would have been weak, and his Ursaring would have pretty much died from the Earth power the Shaman has. So now here comes the Ursaring. I know that thing has got quick feed, but I'm kinda like hoping I can outspeed. But yeah, with a Jolly, he's got like 10 points more speed than I, and that kinda hurts. Now I go to Masprit, just kinda yeah, I know Crunch will not take me down in one shot, and so I go for the T-Ball, just kinda hoping the Toxic will kill it, but like in every battle he survives with 1 HP. Well, that's not 1 HP, but yeah, 5 HP. Yeah, must be something around, somewhere around that. So yeah, go to Mill Tank, and he goes for the Facade, and I was like thinking he would go for the Crunch, and that kinda hurts for me, but he kinda dies from poison, which is still cool. And he goes to his Slowbro, and this is pretty much the end because he's got Slowbro and Snorlax, and I really can't do much with Siphon Toss. And yeah, the question of the day, guys, which is your Pokemon you rely on when you're facing a difficult sweeper that can be a threat to your whole team? Which is the Pokemon that can take his hits or block him or stuff like that? So on which Pokemon you rely when that happens? I totally rely on Ultra, my Shuckle, because that thing takes everything really. Yeah, I do predict this Calm Mind, that's why I go for this thing, but after the Calm Mind, T-Bolt won't do much. But yeah, did you guys know this? I read this that Shuckle in Sandstorm team can take after being defense EV trained, can take free hydro pumps from spec elements. Free hydro pumps, and that's just broken if you ask me. But I don't really use Sandstorm team because the only Pokemon that have Sandstorm ability are overused, and that kind of sucks for me. I would have loved to use that, but I cannot. So go for a Siphon Toss. Just that T-Wave was just, I don't know, I'm kind of screwed, but I don't want to run. I mean, yeah, I'm just kind of staying here, kind of just yeah, just waiting to be killed by this Slowbro. And I go for Siphon Toss, my last Siphon Toss, and yeah, my fate is sealed. He goes for a Surf, and he gets a crit, which is kind of useless. It would have taken me down anyway. So good game, PulseEffects, and congrats on the 50 subs. And yeah, go check him out, guys. Subscribe to him. He's got some sweet narrated battles. Yeah, he narrates his battles, and yeah, go check him out. Anyway, catch you guys later. XENON out.